Welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing another Sketch With Me video. You guys love my Sketch With Me videos and I love doing them, so let's get into it. So the sketchbook that I'm currently using, it's another Trickywagon sketchbook. I got two at the time. So this is the squared one. It's like the smallest sketchbook that I've ever used. It's like an A5 square. But it's really cute and it's easy to carry around everywhere. Yeah, and the paper again is amazing. The quality of all of Trickywagon sketchbooks are incredible. So I asked you guys yesterday, prior to filming, to send me some questions on Instagram so I could answer them in today's video. And you guys sent me so many questions. Thank you so much. But I'm gonna read out some today and try my best to answer them. I've got my coffee, I've got my sketchbook, and I've got my phone for all your questions, so let's begin. But first, a quick word from today's sponsors, ExpressVPN. VPNs, virtual private networks, are the best way to keep all of your information safe when you're cruising the interwebs. They create a secure encryption tunnel between your device and the internet, so hackers can't touch your info. ExpressVPN keeps you especially safe when you're connected to public Wi-Fi's, which is when your passwords, details, and emails are the most at risk. On top of that, ExpressVPN allows you access to content that is restricted in your part of the world. During this period of self-isolation, I've been wanting to re-binge Parks and Rec, but it's not on Netflix UK. But worry not, with just one click of a button, ExpressVPN reroutes my connection and boom, quarantine just got better. ExpressVPN has the fastest speed out there, as well as 24/7 customer support, and it's the most user-friendly, in case you're a VPN beginner. Find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box or go to expressvpn.com/pipa. That's 3 months for free, you guys. For free. Thank you so much to ExpressVPN for supporting the channel and keeping all of our data safe. So the first question actually comes from a friend of mine, Eloise. I'm gonna leave her Instagram down here so you guys can follow her on Instagram. She's really talented. So Eloise asks, do I need to be a good traditional painter to get good at color and everything else? That's a great question actually. I don't think so. I know a lot of artists, and especially artists on Instagram, that are incredible with color. And I don't really think that they're not very like proficient in traditional art. They're more digital artists. Yeah, I think, you know, it's helpful to have like a good background of how colors are made and stuff, and just color theory in general. But I don't think you need to be a great traditional painter to get good at color. Like the basics are like the same regardless. Like if you're referring to human figure and stuff, you can still be really good at that by just, you know, drawing digitally if that's your thing. I know a lot of people also that got very good at at human figure from taking sculpture classes and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of different paths to get to the same place. Not everyone has to go through the traditional painting phase and through the traditional painting route to get to where they want to be in art. So the next question is, does it feel weird finishing uni, then expecting to start your career, but bam, during COVID? Yes, I got a lot of questions of this nature about, you know, finishing uni and how it was finishing uni during a global pandemic. Yeah, I think the main thing that I can say is that it was very weird. It's definitely not how I was expecting to finish my degree. So far, like other than like the sadness of it all, like nothing really has affected me that much. In terms of my uni. Thankfully, I managed to like get all of my final film shooting done before coronavirus hit. It was like the week before they started recommending lockdown. I actually managed to film everything before we went in lockdown. So basically all I had to do was just like edit and do all the post-production work for my final film at home. And yeah, it wasn't as easy as if I was in uni, because the uni computers are a lot faster and better for that kind of heavy amount of work. But you know, I managed. It was just had to be a lot more patient. In terms of like graduating and, you know, actually finishing my degree, is very weird because I didn't get to see like all my friends and all of my all the people on my course like on the last day of submission, we all just kind of like sent each other messages and we were like, congratulations guys. But you know what, we'll see each other again, so it's fine. And in terms of like, you know, expecting to start a career, I don't think anyone's like expecting to start a career right after uni, to be honest, especially after finishing an art degree. It's very much like, especially when you're becoming a freelancer, things like, you know, slow down and you kind of have to like find work. And yeah, the coronavirus is obviously not helping, but I wasn't really expecting much, to be honest. So the next question is, have you tried therapy or medication for your anxiety and depression? If so, what was your experience? Great question. Yes, I have tried both, and I honestly have no complaints about either. Therapy is really, really good. I should go more, if I'm honest. I used to have like very regular therapy when I was a teenager, but like at the time my problems were a lot worse, so obviously I was like, you know, and also I didn't pay for it at the time, my parents did, so, you know, it's a lot easier to go when you're not paying for it. I did therapy then, and then I went to university, and my uni actually had like free counseling and stuff at the student welfare, so that was really, really handy, because you don't have to like worry about money and stuff, which is really, really cool. And now I'm like, oof, what now? And now I'm trying to find like therapy. I'm gonna like have to look into like therapy with the NHS and maybe options outside the NHS. And you know, it's not the easiest thing, especially when, you know, you need therapy. You're not exactly in the best mindset to be researching stuff about therapy. It's a very like catch-22 situation. And in terms of medication, I know it doesn't work for everyone. I'm very well aware. But for me, medication worked really well because my depression and my anxiety were very like a chemical balance thing. It wasn't like a trauma or something that triggered them or anything. It was like, it was just a depression. And for that, like meds were probably the best solution. Medication for that was honestly the best shout. And I've been on medication for anxiety and depression for a number of years now. And yeah, got no complaints. But I do know a lot of people who did have a lot of trouble finding like the correct medication for them. Honestly, I was very lucky with how easily I like adapted to, like how easy I found the correct medication for me. Because it's a lot of trial and error. Yeah, there's always options. It's a very treatable condition. Any advice for someone who's starting to learn animation? Nice question. I think definitely like be patient. It's a very tricky thing to learn. I don't know if you're learning like on a course or if you're teaching yourself, but either way, it's like it's a tricky thing. Even like I did 3 years of it and I'm still learning stuff after uni. Definitely learn like all the basics in terms of keyframes and frame rates, and the 12 principles of animation are definitely something you should look up and learn before you start anything. That was the first thing I learned about animation, was the principles, which is very important because it teaches you about like just basically it's like the 10 commandments but in animation. I think it's a good starting point. There's also a lot of great books that you can get that have like, it's like the Devin, what's the name of the book? The animation book that everyone has. Which one is it?
The Animator Survival Kit.
The Animator Survival Kit. That's a very important book. It's a very good book. It's got like all the principles in it, and it has like little exercises and stuff to like, I don't know, help you get at least the basics down. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite tea? What tea do you drink most often? I love your art and vids. Thank you so much. My favorite tea is probably Earl Grey tea. It's got caffeine in it, which we love to see. And I think that's the one I drink the most, for sure. What inspired you to do that comic about your depression? Yeah, I did a little comic recently about my mental health that I posted on Instagram. Initially, it was just mainly for like therapeutic purposes. I really enjoy like writing down like all my feelings and stuff like that, so I thought I'd try doing it with like visuals this time. I had like a relapse and like a panic attack during that week, and I was just trying to see if drawing was a good solution to making myself feel better, and it did work. It's very nice. And then I posted it because I thought it would be nice for some people to see I don't know, it's always really, it makes me feel better seeing that other people are going through the same thing as me. It's like reassuring. So I posted it in hopes that maybe people who saw it would feel comforted by it. The amount of like comments and shares and stuff that I got on that post was incredible. And I got a load of like messages from people telling me how the comic helped them. Next question, what was your favorite year of school and why? Can be uni or just normal school. I really enjoyed my first year of university. It was probably the most fun I've ever had. It was just really nice meeting a bunch of new people, and we were all learning about animation, and it was like kind of still low intensity enough that we weren't all very stressed. Like, we were stressed, but like a normal amount. I just made a bunch of new friends. I think that was probably my favorite year of any school. What do you do when you know you're having a down day? Love from Iceland. Ah, hello. When I know I'm having a down day, I normally try to... That's a tough question, because it depends on why I'm feeling down. Like, if I'm feeling down and having like a bad mental health day, I'll cancel any like, you know, work that I have to do and try to like do self-care and stuff. Just try to like take my mind off of it and like basically let my mind heal. So I'll normally put on like a funny TV show, like a show that always puts me in a good mood, or I play video games, or I draw, or whatever at the time doesn't feel super daunting and awful. Yeah, but if I'm having a down day in terms of like, I don't even know, like just having like a down day of like I'm in a bad mood or something, I'll try to do some work, because feeling productive always makes me feel better. It really does depend on the nature of why I'm feeling down. Probably, yeah, I'll try to like stay busy, but depending on why I'm feeling down, it'll either be for self-care or just to take my mind off things. Taking my mind off things is always like the best thing. Getting some fresh air is also really nice. If you enjoy reading, reading's really nice. It not only takes your mind off of things and it keeps your mind busy, but it's like a good escape. Next, would you ever do another video in Portuguese? I'm learning it right now and I'd love to hear you speak it. Oh, that's really nice. I'm interested to know why you're learning Portuguese. It's not usually a language people try to learn, but good for you. Portuguese is a very beautiful language, and good luck. It's also not the easiest language to learn. Oh my god, I just found a picture on Pinterest of a cat wearing a cape, and now I'm gonna have to draw it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do more videos in Portuguese. I absolutely love doing the last one. I always love, you know, talking in Portuguese. It's my first language. So how do you know where to shade and highlight your drawings in Procreate? I think the most important thing to establish before you start lighting and shading is your light source. Like, that's the thing that's going to determine where you're going to put your shades and your highlights and everything. So it's always important to, if you're like not very comfortable with the idea of just remembering where your light source is, I always recommend drawing it down. So for example, for this sketch right here, if I wanted, like for example, I started doing the shadings here, so essentially the light is coming from right above her. So I would normally just draw like a little arrow, and this is where the light is coming from. And this will sort of, you know, remind me where light will be coming from. And everything that you think the light would hit is a highlight. It's sort of like that. So like underneath here where the crease of her shorts is, there would be a shadow, and the back leg would be in shadow as well. Just kind of keep adding to it. And if something doesn't look right, then definitely like try reevaluating it. You can always have like more than one light source, but if you're new to lighting, I definitely stick to one light source for now and then try to add different light sources, because it's a lot trickier when you're trying to add like backlighting or underlighting or different colored lights. It's like definitely a process that you add to. So yeah, I always start off when I'm lighting something that has different light sources, I go one light source at a time, so that this way I don't get overwhelmed with trying to figure out what everything is. Yeah, and I also on Procreate will do the lighting on different layers. If I have different light sources, they'll be on different layers, just to help me figure that out as well. Someone asked me, what would your dream job be? I think my dream job would definitely be working at a studio, like an animation studio. I really love working with like a team and working in a studio environment. I don't think I was cut out for working from home. I'm just easily distracted, and I think I'd get very like easily bored from doing work at home all the time. I definitely would want a job that requires me getting out of the house every day. So yeah, probably at an animation studio is definitely the goal. But nothing too specific, honestly. Nothing. I am absolutely in love with this cat who's wearing a cape. I'm just in awe of his beauty and his grace. Next question. How did it feel moving and leaving the uni squad behind? I feel like I already answered this, but yeah, it was sad. It's always sad, you know, but it felt like I'd been in Leeds long enough. I really wanted to move somewhere new, and it was obviously sad that we had to leave all my friends behind, but we'll see each other again. We're all very close, so it's not like we're never gonna see each other again. And we'll definitely have our little reunion at our graduation, which is very exciting. So we'll get to see each other again. If you could go anywhere in the world to paint, where would you go? Oh, that's a really nice question. I think I would probably go to like somewhere in like Greenland or Iceland. I heard that those are very beautiful places and that I've never been to. So, and I heard they have really picturesque landscapes. I'd definitely love to go paint somewhere like on a mountainous area. Yeah, something like that. I definitely would also love to go to like some of those really beautiful mountaintop areas in Japan or something. You know, the real foggy areas. I feel like that would be really beautiful to paint there as well. Just something high up, something that I wouldn't normally see in my day-to-day. What's the most difficult thing in studying animation? I love your videos and your art. Thank you. And the most difficult thing studying animation, I think it's probably like having to learn how different types of objects move. So like you have to kind of relearn physics kind of a little bit and think about how like different weighted objects would move, how different like consistencies would move, and just kind of try to draw that out. I feel like that for me was the thing that took the most brain power, I guess, when learning animation, was trying to wrap my head around types of objects and the different, like the anatomy of different things was also interesting. Like when you come from a background that you don't really know much about physics, that was pretty interesting. And for me, I think the hardest part as well in first year was trying to wrap my head around like frame rates. For some reason, my brain that hates maths was like, nope, I can't. There's numbers. My brain immediately just shut down and was like, I can't understand. It took me a while to figure out like the different types of maths that go into frame rates and animating in doubles, in twos, I mean. So that was for me, for some reason, that was really challenging. But that's probably just because my brain immediately has like a stroke when numbers come into the equation. Into the equation. So yeah, and now that I've drawn this beautiful boy here, I'm just like, I'll never draw something as good as this ever again. He's the most beautiful boy ever. I'm gonna be real, I didn't really have an idea for what I was gonna draw today as per. I just kind of sat down, I had my breakfast, I sat down and I immediately started drawing, so. Random question, favorite snack to eat while sketching? Ooh, I love grapes. Grapes are a great snack, for sure. What do you do with all the tablets and laptops you've been sent after you review them? That's an excellent question. Yeah, I normally, after I review a tablet or like a laptop and stuff, up till now, I've just like given them to either family members or friends. I'm never out of choice for who to give stuff to because I know way too many people who are artists, so there's always going to be someone who wants one or needs one. I'll definitely keep like, you know, my favorites for myself, unless I'm like doing a giveaway, but normally for those, the brands normally arrange for a new one to be sent out, obviously. Friends and family benefit a lot from my job, I guess. What are your plans now that uni is over? So, now that uni is over, I've actually got a internship lined up here in Manchester at an animation studio, which is very exciting. I'm starting it in September. So for the next 2 months, I'm actually gonna go home and relax because I have been working a lot for the past few months and I really need to relax and also see my family because I haven't been able to see my family since Christmas. Because I was busy with uni and then coronavirus hit and I just haven't seen my family in 6 months. So that's pretty much the plan. And then I guess after my internship, just keep finding work and I don't know, eventually probably find a full-time job, I guess. And obviously, you know, keep doing my YouTube videos because that's kind of my job. At the moment, it's my main source of income. And once coronavirus dies down, definitely do some more cons and stuff around the UK. Someone asked me, are you wearing socks? Oh. Yes, and they've got ghosts on them. They're excellent. What's a different medium you want to try? Ooh. Nice one. I was actually talking about this yesterday, but I really want to get into like using inks. I've never really gotten into inks and I really want to. I should probably like buy a range of colors, but I don't really have that many inks, which is probably why I don't feel as motivated to like try them because I don't feel like I've got enough of a range of colors to actually like get into a beginner level and try out ink drawings. But a lot of my favorite artists at the moment are like ink-based artists and they use inks and stuff for their artwork, so I've just been really inspired by them and I really want to try doing some ink drawings because I love watercolors and I heard that inks are like the best like parts of watercolors. Do you consider art your hobby or your job, and do you think it can be both? Great question. I've always considered art as my hobby, and when I went into uni, I kind of still considered it as my hobby, and like animation as my job. I guess animation is art, but I consider my illustration sort of as a hobby still because I I don't even know why. Because I do it in my free time. Like I don't know. I don't get like commissions for illustration as much, and the way I get paid from my art is mainly from my shop. So I don't know. In my brain, it still feels weird, but I guess they are both. It is both, you know. And yeah, it can be both, and it, you know, most times it should be both. I feel like once you get to turn your hobby into your job, that's like, you're winning at life. You get paid for doing something you love, like, come on. It definitely can be both, and if you're able to, you definitely should make it both. How do you manage your anxiety and depression enough to still make art regularly? When I am having a really tough time with my anxiety and my depression, I don't actually draw that much. I know you probably can't tell because I've always got like artwork kind of backlogged for posts and stuff. I don't really draw that much when I'm depressed. Like everything kind of feels a little bit too daunting. Even drawing, which is a thing that makes me very happy, feels like I would rather not do that at all. So yeah, I just kind of don't. I only start drawing once I start feeling better. Once I start, you know, feeling a little bit more up to doing things. Yeah, when I have like a really bad time with my anxiety and my depression, my brain is not creative at all. Next question. How do you like your new flat? Are you settling in okay? Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're settling in great. We've unpacked everything. Everything is sorted. It was really tough when we first moved in. We both had like as I said, it was the relapse. We had like a panic attack. It was like crazy, but you know, we had a few days where we were both really down, but the flat itself is excellent. It's great. It's really nice, and we both really like it. And now it's just a case of it starting to feel like home, I guess. Did you sell your art in school? If yes, how did you price it? Love your style. I did in school do mainly like commission work, like portraits and stuff for friends of my family and like, you know, family friends and stuff like that. In terms of pricing my work, I didn't really know how to do that, so it was mainly my mom actually who priced my work. I always thought, I was like, Mom, oh my god, no, that's too much. My god, are you crazy? And she's like, no, it's not. So my mom was actually my sort of momager for a long time, and she was always great. She never undersold me, and it was just like really nice. I don't know. I can't really help you with that because I was really bad at like valuing my work and pricing it. So, and I still am, if I'm honest. It's getting better, but it's still not there. But do you think in English or Portuguese? That's a very cool question. I get this a lot, actually. I don't really know, if I'm incredibly honest. I think it depends where I am. If I'm in England and my brain is on the English switch, then I think I normally think in English. But if I'm back home in Portugal and my brain is switched onto Portuguese mode, then I think in Portuguese. I think my brain has now gotten used to like switching between the two. It changes all the modes, you know? It's like language reset every time I move, which is also something that makes it very hard every time I come back from Portugal. Is like my brain is still like in Portuguese mode, and it says really crazy things because my brain is still like trying to switch back. Someone asked me, qual é teu sítio favorito de Portugal? What is my favorite place in Portugal? I would have to say just the area around where I live. I live like right next to a beach and a park. It's like perfect, and it's like just a really nice area. I also really love the Ribeira in downtown Porto, I mean. My whole university final film was about, you know, that area because it's one of the most beautiful parts of the city, I think, and it's so full of like history and culture. If you could adopt a pet, which pet would you choose? What would you name your new pet? Okay, I would 100% immediately adopt a dog. I'm not, you know, fussed about what kind, but I do love Australian Shepherds. So I'd probably get a dog and name it like Zuko or something, because I just love that name for a pet. I know Trickywagon's cat is called Zuko, and ever since I was like, I need to have a pet and call it Zuko, because it's excellent. Do you miss your family living abroad? Yes, a lot. Yeah, especially this period of time during coronavirus and finishing uni. This has been the longest period of time that I have gone without seeing my family. Next question. How many pets do you have? Winter is adorable, by the way. Oh, God, isn't she just the most adorable? Yeah, I have 3 pets back home in Portugal. None here, sadly, but yeah, I have Winter, which is the most beautiful baby girl. And then I've got 2 cats, Miffy, who is 18 years old. Actually, she's 19 now. She's very old. She's an old soul and an old cat. Yeah, no, she's just old. And she's been with me since I was a baby, essentially. So yeah, and then I've got another cat called Lola, and she is like the most zen cat I have ever met in my life. She's like constantly, like we always say, she looks high, because she just looks high. Like she just looks like she's always on something. She's way too zen. And she's really good friends with Winter, actually, so they play a lot together, which is adorable. And I'm pretty sure that this is our final question for today. Oh, excellent. How are you feeling about the new Stray Kids album? Oh my god, it's amazing. Like, at this point, are we even shocked that they're putting out constant bops? Yeah, no, we're not. The new album is incredible. My favorite song is Easy and Another Day, because they're just beautiful and incredible, and I can jam out every single time to those songs. And yeah, just absolute bangers. Now that we have answered all the questions for today, these are the sketches that we've done today. They're not anything crazy, I know, but again, are they ever? Here is the double spread that we filled in today. I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, listening to me answer your questions. Let me know if you were drawing along with me. I know a lot of you guys do that and you love drawing along. Thank you again so much to ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye!